Questions, Jade. Over to you.
Cool. So the first question comes from Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
How do you split your time and energy into all areas of life whilst running a successful business?
Oh, great question. So, how do I split my time and energy? I think that's actually a really important distinction between the two. I wouldn't put those two things together. So, a lot of people think that time is your most valuable resource, and to an extent it is, but we've certainly, I'm sure you've had experience before, Amanda, and I'm sure everyone listening has, where you've had a lot of time to do something but no energy to get it done, and vice versa. You've had like just a moment in time but tremendous energy, and that's what creates the shift. So I think that energy is more valuable than time, because you can do more with energy than you can just with time. So that's number one, to keep that in mind. What I personally do is you've got to understand that life is a series of values conflicts. And when you look at the things that you value, what we've got to do is put them in an order of most to least important. So for me, I'm big on my top 5 values and understanding the priorities that they place in my life. I'm also very fortunate in the sense that I don't have to make a major distinction between my intimate life and my business life, because obviously Ash and I, we run the business together. So we spend so much of our time together that we're in each other's pockets, so to speak. In fact, we're in the same office right now. So we're around each other 247. That really helps. It obviously has a damaging effect as well, which is sometimes it's hard to switch off and go between the two, but for me, I think that's important. So what I try to do is a couple of things. Number one, Sunday nights are really critical for me. So on Sunday nights, after Ash has gone to bed normally, I'll sit up and I'll do a review of the week that was, and I'll plan my week ahead. I'll look at the big rocks. We'll normally put in our training time straight away. For me personally, health and wellness is really important, so making sure I can get to the gym first thing in the morning, and so we'll normally get up at 5 and we'll get to the gym for 6, and so we've done that because I know if I try to do it in the afternoon, like today, I didn't go to the gym this morning. My plan was to do a training session at lunchtime. It's now 2:26, and that time's pretty much slipped me by. So I know that I'm notoriously bad for that, so if it's important, I get it done first thing in the morning. I then make sure as well that we allocate time to rest and recharge. So in my week, I know that Tuesdays is a really heavy work day. We've got 3 different training calls that pretty much go back to back during the day. Then as also on top of that, I play soccer on a Tuesday night, which is a bit of a social boys night for me, which is great release. But I'll come in and normally I'll be battered and bruised and sore, and maybe something's broken, and certainly I've lost some skin. And so what we do is Ash and I don't work on Wednesday morning. So we have a sleep in on Wednesday morning. We go to the office effectively at like lunchtime. So that's a great recovery pocket for us. And obviously we've designed our life in that way, so we can find a way to do that. So in simple terms, I start my week on a Sunday night. I design the week in advance. I look at all my big rocks. I put my important things for training and nutrition up front. I put them in the mornings to make it easy. We make sure we carve out time as well. And for Ash and I, it's the case of, to be honest, we don't really do a date night every week. We went through phases of that. We don't do that currently, but we will certainly spend a lot of time on Wednesday mornings together. We spend a heap of time on Sundays as well. It's sort of like our day where we do stuff. But then we'll also do crazy shit. Like, for example, 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago, baby? We were at the Crown?
Yeah.
Just randomly. Next week I booked in for 2 days in the middle of the week to go to the Crown. So we'll just do random little trips of recovery time as part of that. And then when I'm at work, I'm fully focused on work as well. And the new office has been really good from that as well, because it means I can sit in and I can get my stuff done during that period of time. So that's how I sort of try to balance my time and energy effectively. And, you know, if you feel like you're out of balance, you've got to take control of that as quickly as possible. So that might mean working a little bit later some nights. That might be coming in a little bit earlier as well to get on top of stuff. There's going to be waves and ebbs and flows, and I think it's important. Imagine your time and your energy like the tides of the ocean. There's going to be a period of time where the tide is out and everything's all good. There's going to be other times when the waves are crashing in. You've got to sort of batten down the hatches, and that goes for every area of our lives. So, you know, it's not about, oh, did I do 5 hours this week with my partner? No, did I find a way to meet my partner's needs, and did I fulfill my obligations in that area, and did I fill my cup emotionally and physically? If I did, great. And if I haven't, I've got to make sure I step up and do that work as well. So that would be some of my ideas and insights.
Beautiful.
We might also put up actually a link, Jade, for the time management productivity masterclass that I did for our internal team.
Yep.
Maybe if we can get a link for everybody, we'll give you guys the slides for that, because that'll hopefully help.